Hi YouTube, s&djr 8449. Yeah, I'm finally back. I've